Shalom Aleichem. We're continuing the series of body language from the parasha, and in our parasha, Parashat Yitro, we can clearly see how one can say one word but mean something else or feel something totally different. Body language is the body of the feelings, the language of the feelings. The person can clearly see how other person feels about you, about himself, about his surrounding, just by looking at the way he behaves, by looking at the expressions of his body. And in our parasha, we see that in a couple of instances with the meeting of Moshe Rabbeinu and Yitro. Moshe Rabbeinu meets Yitro, finally comes to see him, and he starts telling him about all the things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu have made to Am Yisrael, the miracles that occurred to them, and the punishing of Mitzrayim and Paro. It says right away, Vayichad Yitro. What does it mean, Vayichad Yitro? Rashi gives two contradictory explanations. The first perush, Vayichad Yitro, Vayismach Yitro. He was very happy. He told Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm so happy for you. This is beautiful what have happened to you, all the miracles, and that Mitzrayim got punished. But right away Rashi tells us, Midrash Hakata nasa besaro chidudin chidudin, metzer haya al ovdan Mitzrayim, which means his body had goosebumps, chidudim chidudim. The entire body was filled with goosebumps. Why does a person get goosebumps? It's either because he's very excited, or he gets very frightened, or he gets very, very saddened for something that have happened. Rashi tells us over here was the reason for being sad. Metzer haya al ovdan Mitzrayim. So you can say that there are two different explanations, but really, many times Rashi just puts two explanations to express two things that happen at the same time. And over here, that's exactly the story. Yitro in one instance shows Moshe Rabbeinu Vayichad Yitro, which means he shows him a happy face. Of course, he's meeting Moshe Rabbeinu, and he has to show and express that he's happy with everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu have made to Am Yisrael. But at the same time, this body radiates something totally, totally different. It shows goosebumps throughout the body, chidudim, to show that he's saddened, he's not happy with what have happened. He's very, very much metzer al ovdan Mitzrayim. He feels the pain of the Egyptians. So here you go, that one time, in one instance, you can see a person saying one thing, but his body language would show you totally different thing. Another thing that we see over here, that the parasha tells us that when Moshe Rabbeinu came out to greet Yitro, it says over there, Vayishtachu vayishaklo, vayishalu ishret re'eu leshalom, which means Vayishtachu, one bowed down to the other, and one kissed the other. Not both of them kissed each other and bowed down to each other, just one. Who bowed down to who? Rashi asks, who was the one that bowed down to the other? And Rashi answers, it got to be Moshe Rabbeinu, because it says, Vayishalu ish lere'eu. A person asked, ish. Who's ish? It's Moshe Rabbeinu. Vayish Moshe, it says. So therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu is the one that bowed and kissed Yitro. That's exactly what happened. And over here, it's a very interesting thing, because a person usually thinks that when you come forward to greet somebody or to bow down to another, as to show respect, not more than that, to show respect, you're putting yourself in the lower position. You are becoming vulnerable in a way that the other person could either reject you, ignore you, feel that you're not as important, it's not going to look good. But when a person is a ish, is a man, that's the word over here, the emphasis of the word ish. When a person is a man, he's not scared of all that. Why? Because he has such strong self-esteem. When a person's self-esteem is built, when a person is confident about himself, he's not scared about what the other would say, what the other would feel, what people would say, what people would feel. He doesn't feel vulnerable, and he's not scared, and to make that move towards the other person and greet him, bow down to him, kiss him, although Yitro wasn't showing those feelings back to Moshe Rabbeinu, because it says over here that Moshe Rabbeinu did it, but Moshe Rabbeinu had such confidence in what he's doing, he felt good about himself, and therefore going forward and doing all those things to show an expression of love and respect to Yitro didn't stop him at all from anything. And this is something that we need to realize, that whenever we deal with people, you'll very clearly see who's the one that's going forwards to the other? He's the one that's more confident, unlike the popular belief that you should not greet the other, you should not make eye contact. Instead of, when you make eye contact, you are becoming, as we explained before, more vulnerable. That's not true, because if you make eye contact, that shows that you are confident about yourself, and it does not in any way put you in the lower position or in a place that maybe the other person would make you feel that you're worthless or so on. This is what we see from our parasha, and the parasha calls him Ve'ish Moshe Ishtachavu V'ishtachu Ish. Ish is over here, Moshe Rabbeinu. Why is Moshe Rabbeinu Ish? He's a man, because he was confident, he was in a higher position than Yitro. He was able to go down and bow down and show that extra respect to not Paro, Yitro. It showed that extra respect to Yitro. Shabbat Shalom.